October 25th, 1983, 0530 hours. The largest airborne assault since World War II is about to begin. 834 Rangers from the 75th Ranger Regiment prepare to jump into one of the most heavily defended airfields in the Caribbean, Point Salines Airfield, Grenada. This is their story. If you respect these warriors and their sacrifice, hit that like button and comment, respect the veterans right now, and subscribe, because we're covering the real stories of America's elite infantry. Point Salines sits on Grenada's southwestern tip, a 9,000-foot runway being built by Cuban engineers. Intelligence reports defensive positions, Zu-23 anti-aircraft guns at coordinates 12 degrees 0 minutes, 25 seconds north, 61 degrees 46 minutes 30 seconds west, BTR-60 armored personnel carriers, and 784 Cuban construction workers, many of them combat engineers from Cuba's 50th Engineering Battalion. 400 hours, Barbados. Rangers load onto 16 C-130 Hercules transports. 1st Battalion commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Wesley Taylor. 2nd Battalion under Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Hagler. Mission: seize Point Salines, eliminate Cuban resistance, secure the runway for follow-on forces. 0530 hours. Approach. The C-130 formation approaches Grenada at 500 feet to avoid radar detection. Lead aircraft Chalk 1 carries Alpha Company 1st Battalion. As they near the airfield, the situation becomes clear. The runway is blocked. 0534 hours. Runway obstructed. Cuban forces have placed construction vehicles, concrete barriers, and fuel trucks across the landing zone. The planned runway landing is impossible. Colonel Taylor makes the call. Execute combat jump. Repeat, combat jump authorized. Combat jump at 500 feet, half the normal altitude. No reserve parachutes. Rangers have 15 seconds from aircraft to ground. The first men jump into the unknown. Their MC-1 parachutes barely have time to deploy. 0536 hours. Boots on ground. Rangers hit the drop zone as Cuban forces open fire. Zu-23 anti-aircraft guns pivot from sky to ground, unleashing 23mm rounds at 900 rounds per minute. Rangers scatter, seeking cover behind the airfield's concrete structures and abandoned equipment. Squads push forward toward the control tower under heavy fire. Cuban defenders in BTR-60 armored vehicles rake the runway with 14.5mm machine gun fire. Rangers respond with M16A, 1 rifles and M203 grenade launchers, engaging targets at ranges from 50 to 300 meters. 0547 hours. Spectre gunships. 2 AC-130H aircraft, Smoky 01 and Smoky 02, arrive on station. The lead Spectre's 105mm howitzer targets a Cuban BTR-60 dug in near the fuel depot. 1 round, direct hit. The armored vehicle erupts in flames visible from 5 miles away. 0600 hours, advance and clear. With air support suppressing enemy positions, Rangers advance in fire and movement tactics. Alpha Company moves toward the terminal building, while Bravo Company clears the maintenance hangars. Charlie Company secures the fuel storage area against Cuban counterattacks. 0615 hours. Terminal building. Rangers move through the passenger terminal, room by room clearing. Cuban defenders armed with AK-47s fight from prepared positions. Rangers use fragmentation grenades and close-quarters battle techniques to clear each corridor. Several Rangers take wounds in the fighting, but continue to provide covering fire for their squad's advance. This is Ranger training in action. Mission first, never quit. 0700 hours. Cuban withdrawal. Facing overwhelming firepower from Rangers on the ground and AC-130s overhead, Cuban forces begin withdrawing toward the interior mountains. The airfield's key positions, control tower, fuel depot, maintenance facilities, fall to Ranger assault. 0800 hours, airfield secure. Lieutenant Colonel Taylor radios headquarters. Point Salines is secure. Runway clear for operations. Rangers have eliminated Cuban resistance, cleared the obstacles, and opened Grenada's main airfield for C-141 Starlifter transports carrying the 82nd Airborne Division. 0830 hours. Reinforcements arrive. The first C-141 touches down on the runway Rangers died to capture. 82nd Airborne paratroopers disembark, ready to expand operations across the island. The Rangers' sacrifice has opened the door for the entire operation, October 25th to 27th. Rangers continue operations across Grenada. They secure the True Blue Medical Campus, evacuating 814 American medical students. They clear Calavigny Barracks, discovering massive Cuban weapon stockpiles. Every mission completed with Ranger precision. October 26th, True Blue Campus. Rangers arrived to find American medical students hiding in dormitories, terrified by 3 days of fighting. We're U.S. Army Rangers with Grenada, they announce. You're safe now. 138 students evacuated in the first lift. Operation Urgent Fury cost the Rangers dearly. 5 Rangers killed in action, 42 wounded. Heroes who gave everything for their mission and their brothers. October 27th, 1100 hours. Organized resistance ends. Rangers have secured Point Selene's airfield, evacuated American students, and eliminated Cuban military presence. Mission accomplished through superior training, courage under fire, and the Ranger creed, never shall I fail my comrades. The Ranger assault on Point Selene's proved that America's elite light infantry could still execute complex airborne operations under fire. In 72 hours, 834 Rangers accomplished what many thought impossible, seizing a heavily defended airfield and holding it against determined resistance. If you haven't already, smash that like button and subscribe for more real military history. These Rangers earned their place in airborne history. Which elite unit should we cover next? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, Rangers lead the way.